How about some keto fried green tomatoes? Now here we've got a pound, that's about 500 grams of green tomatoes. You can use firm, ripe tomatoes of any color that you like. First you want to core them, like I'm doing here. And then slice them into 1/4-inch slices or so, not too thick or they won't cook. And you do the whole batch like this. Next I want to dry them off a little bit, so I use this towel. You could use paper towels if you like. I'm just going to line them up like this, kind of neatly. There we go, and pat them dry with the towel. You don't have to make a big deal about it, but you want to get some of that moisture off of there. There we go. And now we're going to set them aside. We're going to set up the dredging stations here. Here I've got a cup of oat fiber and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm going to mix that together quickly. And then next, we've got 2 eggs. And we're going to break them and then beat them until it's a nice homogeneous mixture. And then classic third station, we've got here a 1.5 cups of blanched almond flour. I'm going to add to it 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese and a tablespoon or so of Italian seasoning, 1/2 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. You could leave the crushed red pepper flakes out if you don't like it spicy. Just mix it up real quick. Now next, we're going to dredge the slices in first the oat fiber mixture, then in the egg, just like this, and then in the almond flour mixture. And don't be afraid to pat it on there like that. Remove it to a platter, and then move on to the next slice, just like this. See, there's really nothing to it. Make sure everything gets well coated. There we go. And on to the next. Here's the whole platter. I actually ran out of breading and almond flour, so I made a little more using coconut flour, and the white slices are coated with that. Really turned out good. I think you're going to like this. What you want to do next is heat up some ghee or other keto fat, and when you get it hot, you want to put the slices in there, just like I'm doing here. Don't crowd the pan too much, and move the fat around a little bit. Turn them over when they're browned. And coconut flour, almond flour browns much faster than wheat flour does. And when they're browned on both sides, you want to remove them to a paper towel lined platter, just like I'm doing here. There we go. And move on to the next thing. Now, discard the oil in between batches. It's got a lot of stuff in it that's kind of burned. We don't want that. Use a paper towel to clean it up. Add more fat. Get it nice and hot. And then start the process again. There you go. Turn them over. Remove them to the platter. And do the rest of them. Voila. And aren't those gorgeous? I also created a little sauce to go with it. It's made of 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, 1.5 cups of sour cream, 2 tablespoons of sriracha, and a nice tablespoon or so of chopped chive. It's really delicious. Now here's the serving size I have in mind. Really looks good, doesn't it? Well, all right, let's give it a try. I'm going to dip it here in a little bit of the sauce. Wow. Really, really good. The tomato is not really very sour, has just a little bit of tartness, and the breading is very nice. That sauce has just a little bit of a bite to it. I really love it. The tomato is still a little bit firm, but soft and clearly cooked. Very nice. You're really going to love this. Let's talk macros. Now, the whole recipe, and here I mean the tomatoes with the breading fried in the oil, comes down to 1,907.5 calories, 59.3 grams of net carbs, 66.5 grams of protein, and 162.9 grams of fat. Per portion, and this makes 8 generous appetizer-sized portions, it comes down to 238.4 calories, 7.4 grams of net carbs, 8.3 grams of protein, and 20.4 grams of fat. With the sauce, that's going to add a little bit on, the whole thing comes down to, per portion, 408 calories, 10 grams of net carbs, 9.4 grams of protein, and 37.7 grams of fat. Hey, listen, before you go, don't forget to like, share, comment, and especially subscribe to my channel. Helps my channel grow and helps you find my videos when you click on that notifications bell. Thanks so much for joining us here today at Tim Talks Cooking, huh? We'll catch you next time.